So you want to start a podcast?
Great idea.
I've started a few podcasts, so I'll walk you through everything from getting the right idea, recording your first episode, then putting it out. First, you need a good idea. You could talk about trees, cars, birds. Wait, that's actually a good idea. All right, let's start a podcast about birds. Now that you've got an idea, you're gonna need a catchy name. Picture this. You're walking with a friend and you hear a bird. And because you've been listening to my new podcast about birds, you recognize what that bird is. So you say to your friend, "Do you hear that?" Perfect. Now that you've got a catchy title, you can record your first episode. Depending on your subject, you might want to do a bit of research before you start recording. Nobody wants to listen to two people who don't know what they're talking about. Or maybe they do. If you don't feel like investing in nice microphones, just use your phone. It'll be fine. Oh, and if you're recording with someone who's not nearby, just record separately and then email that audio to one another, put it together, and it'll sound just like you were in the same room. Actually, all the podcasts I've done have been recorded this way. Try to avoid using audio from FaceTime or phone calls because it's normally not that good. Now it's time to edit. Throw it into whatever software you like. I use Pro Tools, but GarageBand works too. You could even do it on your phone. Don't worry about editing too much, but don't you hate when you're listening to a podcast and conversation sounds choppy because someone keeps stuttering or saying like after every other word? Yeah, that's annoying. And it's super easy to fix. So fix it. Okay, look, here's what I just said. All those likes, I'm just gonna remove them and chop everything together and listen now. It's super easy to fix, so fix it. If you don't care and you want to leave it in, I get it, and I probably won't keep listening. I'm gonna make an intro and I'm just gonna put it before every episode. Think about how this could be the first episode some people are listening to, so having a short description in the intro could give them a little heads up of what to expect for future episodes. It's also nice to have a kind of sonic branding for every podcast. Let's listen to it real quick. You're listening to Do You Hear That? We're bird enthusiasts, not bird experts. Yeah, that'll work. For this bird podcast, I'm going to add a layer of ambient sound, so it kind of sounds like we're outside, living amongst the bird that we're talking about. It's kind of nice, kind of relaxing, actually. It's really fun to just add that kind of stuff in. You can skip the bird sound step if you're not making a podcast about birds. Once you've got the edit done, make a cover for the episode. With podcasts, you can give each episode a different cover art, so have fun with it. For this episode, because we talked about the blue jay, I'm going to drop in a photo of a blue jay I found in a book from the Library of Congress. Now, all I've got to do is publish my first episode to the World Wide Web. There are a bunch of different ways to do this, but using Spotify Podcast is super easy. Upload your file, update your title, description, upload your cover art, then schedule your post. We could do a bird podcast every day. Should we do that? We actually did do that. We did it for 2 months, and if you actually want to listen to this podcast, it does exist. We have 30 episodes. And now you know how to make a podcast. So now go make your own podcast.